Before we're continuing to speak and taking what she said further, I-24 News reporter Uri Shapira takes a look at the sequence of violence over the last few years in the United States and some of the reasons and consequences of this ongoing crisis in divided America.
The clashes in Baltimore, which spread to other cities in the U.S. following the death of Freddie Gray, are just the latest in a chain of clashes over the last few years between American authorities and civilians. All of them came after controversial incidents involving the death of African Americans. Though in many of the cases the riots tended to fade after a while, the tension still remains, at least under the surface. In July 2013, George Zimmerman, member of a Florida Neighborhood Watch, was acquitted in court after fatally shooting African-American teen Trayvon Martin, and reactions were not long in coming. Thousands of people from coast to coast took to the streets, protesting what they saw as a clear failure of the justice system. Just 1 year later, another incident sparking outrage, this time in the city of Ferguson, Missouri. Young African-American Michael Brown was shot dead by white police officer Darren Wilson, who claimed that Brown disobeyed his order to move to the sidewalk. It was later revealed that Brown was unarmed. In November 2014, a grand jury decided not to press charges against Wilson, and once again, America found itself in the midst of violent protests. The next round of violence came when New Yorker Eric Garner, also African-American, was choked to death by NYPD officers in July 2014. From the mid-1960s until today, the United States has known many rounds of racial violence, and critics say little has been learned. Many point to the light police trigger finger, especially when the gun is aimed at minorities. Others accuse a legal system that fails to adequately punish offending police officers. But perhaps these riots reflect a deeper crisis in contemporary America, a growing frustration at the economic gap between the different sectors, a frustration that is threatening to tear the country apart.